Throughout Season 1, Rip Wheeler has done everything possible to build a new life in Texas after leaving Yellowstone behind. He believed that a fresh start would give him, Beth, and Carter the opportunity to create something lasting. Instead, every step forward has been met with another challenge. The devastating cattle disease nearly destroyed the ranch's livelihood, financial pressure mounted from every direction, and rival ranch owners refused to let Rip establish himself without a fight. Despite all those setbacks, Rip has never considered giving up because protecting his family has always been more important than protecting himself. The biggest obstacle standing in Rip's way has been Rob Will. Unlike Rip, Rob Will believes that power comes through fear and control. He has spent the entire season applying pressure from every possible angle, hoping Rip would eventually abandon the ranch. Their rivalry has slowly evolved from a business dispute into something much more personal. Every encounter has increased the tension between them, making Episode 9 feel like the inevitable moment when both men finally run out of options. One of the biggest questions heading into the finale is whether Rob Will has truly been acting alone. Several clues throughout the season suggest that the attacks against the ranch have been far too organized to be simple coincidence. The financial setbacks, the cattle crisis, and the constant pressure placed on Rip all seem connected by a much larger plan. If those clues are accurate, Episode 9 could reveal that Rob Will has been working for someone even more powerful, making him only one piece of a much bigger conspiracy. Beth Dutton may be the first person to uncover that truth. Throughout the season she has quietly investigated suspicious business dealings while everyone else focused on protecting the ranch. Beth has always trusted her instincts, and Episode 9 could finally reward her persistence. If she discovers who has really been financing the campaign against the ranch, the balance of power could change completely. Instead of simply fighting Rob Will, Rip and Beth may expose the people who have been manipulating events from behind the scenes all along. Another storyline to watch is Carter's journey. He began the season struggling to find his place, but under Rip's guidance he has grown into someone who understands responsibility and loyalty. The finale may force Carter to prove everything he has learned. Whether that means protecting the ranch, helping Rip, or making a difficult sacrifice, Episode 9 could become the defining chapter in Carter's transformation. The title, El Padrino, which translates to The Godfather, also hints at the themes of the finale. Family, loyalty, leadership, and sacrifice have always been at the heart of the series, and those themes are likely to take center stage as Rip faces the greatest challenge of his new life. He has spent the season leading through respect rather than fear, and now he may have to prove that his way of leading is stronger than Rob Will's ruthless pursuit of power. The preview also suggests that the atmosphere around the ranch will be more intense than ever before. Every character seems to understand that something major is about to happen. The ranch hands remain loyal to Rip despite the growing danger, Beth continues searching for the missing pieces of the puzzle, and Rob Will appears more determined than ever to seize control. With so many storylines converging, the finale promises high-stakes drama, emotional moments, and major revelations. As for predictions, don't be surprised if the final confrontation between Rip and Rob Will is about much more than a physical fight. Their conflict represents two completely different philosophies. Rip believes that a ranch is built on trust, family, and hard work, while Rob Will believes that strength comes from intimidation and control. That clash of ideals may ultimately decide who deserves to lead and who walks away with nothing. The finale also has the difficult task of wrapping up Season 1 while leaving enough unanswered questions for the already confirmed second season. Fans should expect at least one major cliffhanger, whether it's a shocking betrayal, the reveal of a hidden mastermind, or a final twist that changes everything we thought we knew about the conflict surrounding the ranch. One thing is certain, Episode 9 has all the ingredients to become the biggest episode of the season. The rivalry between Rip Wheeler and Rob Will has been building since the beginning. Beth's investigation may finally expose the truth, and the future of the ranch has never been more uncertain. If the finale delivers on the tension built throughout the season, viewers are in for an unforgettable ending that could redefine the future of Dutton Ranch. As the finale draws closer, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Episode 9 is not simply about saving a ranch. It is about proving which kind of leader deserves to shape its future. Throughout the season, Rip Wheeler has carried the burden of responsibility without ever asking for recognition. He has faced every setback with determination, believing that no matter how difficult life becomes, giving up is never an option. That unwavering mindset has earned him the respect of everyone around him, and it is the very reason so many people continue to stand beside him despite the growing danger. Rob Will, on the other hand, has taken a completely different path. He believes that power comes from making people afraid to oppose you. Instead of earning loyalty, he demands obedience. Instead of building relationships, he builds influence through intimidation and pressure. While his strategy has allowed him to gain ground throughout the season, it has also revealed one major weakness. People may work for Rob Will because they fear him, but they are willing to fight for Rip because they believe in him. That difference could become the deciding factor when the final confrontation arrives. One prediction that seems increasingly likely is that Rob will make one last attempt to force Rip into leaving the ranch peacefully. From Rob Will's perspective, an outright battle creates unnecessary risks. A public confrontation could attract unwanted attention from law enforcement, neighboring ranch owners, and people who have remained neutral until now. If he can convince Rip to walk away voluntarily, he wins the ranch without exposing everything that has happened behind the scenes. However, anyone who has followed Rip's journey knows that surrender has never been part of his character. Rip has survived situations far more dangerous than losing a piece of land. He has endured personal loss, impossible decisions, and countless sacrifices, yet every challenge has only strengthened his resolve. Walking away now would mean abandoning the people who trust him, and that is something Rip simply cannot do. The ranch represents far more than property. It represents family, loyalty, and a future worth protecting. Another major question surrounding Episode 9 is whether Beth Dutton will finally connect all the pieces of the mystery that has unfolded throughout the season. While Rip has been protecting the ranch on the ground, Beth has quietly been investigating the financial and political forces working behind the scenes. She has repeatedly questioned why so many unrelated events seem to benefit the same group of people. If her instincts are correct, the attacks on the ranch may have been carefully planned long before Rip ever realized he was under threat. Imagine Beth uncovering documents that reveal Rob Will has been receiving support from powerful investors who have secretly been purchasing land throughout the region. Such a revelation would completely change the story. Instead of fighting a single rival, Rip would discover that he has become the target of a much larger operation designed to push independent ranch owners off their land. Rob Will would no longer appear to be the mastermind, but rather the man chosen to carry out someone else's plan. That twist would also explain why every setback throughout the season seemed perfectly timed. The financial pressure, the legal complications, and the growing tension surrounding the ranch may all have been part of a coordinated effort to weaken Rip before delivering one final blow. If that prediction proves true, Episode 9 could end with an even greater threat waiting in the shadows, setting the stage for a dramatic second season. Carter's role in the finale could also be much bigger than many fans expect. Since arriving at the ranch, Carter has transformed from a troubled young man into someone who genuinely understands responsibility. Rip has taught him that loyalty is earned through actions rather than words, and Episode May 9th provide Carter with the opportunity to prove how much he has grown. Whether he protects another member of the ranch, uncovers an important clue, or makes a brave decision under pressure, Carter's journey could become one of the most emotional moments of the finale. The title, El Padrino, also deserves attention because it carries symbolic meaning. Translated as, The Godfather, it immediately brings themes of leadership, family, sacrifice, and legacy to mind. Throughout Season 1, Rip has slowly evolved into the person everyone depends on when life becomes difficult. Episode May 9th be the moment when he fully embraces that responsibility, accepting that protecting the ranch sometimes requires sacrifices no one else is willing to make. At the same time, Rob Will may finally realize that strength alone is not enough to win. He has spent the season trying to dominate through fear, but fear has limits. Once people decide they have something more important than fear to fight for, intimidation loses its power. Rip understands this better than anyone. He has never inspired people by making promises of wealth or success. He inspires them because they know he will never ask them to face a danger that he is unwilling to face himself. As the tension continues to build, fans should also pay close attention to the quieter moments between the action. Some of the most important clues in the series have appeared during conversations rather than confrontations. A single line of dialogue, an unexpected meeting, or even a brief glance between characters could reveal information that completely changes the direction of the story. That has been one of the show's greatest strengths throughout the first season, and there is every reason to believe the finale will continue that tradition. By the time the credits begin to roll, viewers should expect emotional victories, heartbreaking losses, and at least one major cliffhanger that leaves everyone talking until Season 2 arrives. Whether Rip defeats Rob Will, uncovers a larger conspiracy, or discovers that the real battle has only just begun, Episode 9 has all the ingredients needed to deliver an unforgettable season finale. One thing is certain, the future of the ranch will never be the same again, and whatever happens next will shape the legacy of Rip Wheeler for years to come. As night falls over the ranch, the atmosphere changes completely. The peaceful landscape that once represented hope now feels uncertain, almost as if the land itself knows that something is about to happen. The ranch hands finish their work earlier than usual, but instead of heading inside to relax, many of them remain outside, scanning the horizon. Nobody says much. They don't need to. Every person can feel the tension building, and everyone is waiting for the first move. Rip Wheeler walks slowly across the property, checking the barns, the corrals, and the fences one last time. He has done this countless times before, but tonight it feels different. He isn't just inspecting the ranch. He's making sure every person under his care is as safe as possible. Leadership has never been about giving orders for Rip. It has always been about responsibility. If something goes wrong, he believes it is his job to stand between danger and the people who call this ranch home. Inside the house, Beth notices the weight Rip is carrying. She has watched him shoulder impossible burdens throughout the season without ever asking anyone else to carry them. That is one of the reasons she respects him so deeply. Rip never complains about what life demands of him. He simply accepts it and keeps moving forward. Beth quietly tells Rip that no matter what happens, they will face it together. Rip smiles, but it is the smile of someone who knows that courage doesn't erase fear. It simply gives people the strength to keep going despite it. Their conversation doesn't last long, but it reminds viewers why they have become one of the strongest partnerships in the series. While Rip protects the ranch with determination, Beth protects it with intelligence, and together they have overcome challenges that would have broken most people. Meanwhile, Rob Will is making preparations of his own. Unlike Rip, he approaches the coming confrontation with complete confidence. From his point of view, every move throughout the season has pushed the ranch closer to collapse. Financial pressure has increased. Supplies have become harder to obtain. The constant stress has worn everyone down. Rob Will believes that Rip is finally running out of options. However, confidence can quickly become overconfidence. One of the biggest mistakes any opponent can make is underestimating Rip Wheeler. Throughout the season, Rip has repeatedly found ways to adapt whenever circumstances changed. Instead of reacting emotionally, he studies the situation, learns from it, and adjusts his strategy. That patience has allowed him to survive challenges that seemed impossible at first. This is why I believe Episode 9 will include a major turning point that Rob Will never sees coming. Rather than responding directly to Rob Will's pressure, Rip may choose to expose his greatest weakness. Throughout the season, Rob Will has carefully built the image of someone who always remains in control. But people who are obsessed with control often struggle when events stop following their plans. If Rip can force Rob Will into making emotional decisions instead of calculated ones, the balance of power could shift almost instantly. Another clue worth paying attention to is the loyalty of the ranch hands. Earlier in the season, several characters questioned whether everyone would remain committed if the pressure continued to increase. Since then, the opposite has happened. The more difficult life has become, the more united the ranch has grown. Instead of breaking apart, the people around Rip have become stronger together. That unity could become one of the finale's biggest surprises. Imagine Rob Will arriving at the ranch expecting frightened workers ready to abandon Rip, only to discover that every single person has chosen to stay. Such a moment would demonstrate that leadership cannot be measured by wealth or influence alone. It is measured by the willingness of others to stand beside you when everything is at risk. At the same time, Beth's investigation could produce the evidence everyone has been searching for. Throughout the season she has quietly connected names, business deals, and land purchases that initially appeared unrelated. Episode May 9 finally reveal that those pieces form a much larger picture. If Beth uncovers proof that outside investors have been manipulating events from the beginning, Rob will could suddenly find himself exposed as someone else's employee rather than the mastermind everyone believed him to be. That revelation would completely change the stakes of the finale. Instead of celebrating victory, Rob will might realize he has become expendable. The powerful people financing the operation could decide that he knows too much, forcing him to choose between protecting himself or remaining loyal to those who hired him. Suddenly, the man who spent the season threatening everyone else could become trapped by the very people he trusted.